I'm Tom Cole, Head of Horticulture at Capel Manor College. And if, like me, you don't really want to dig straight into the ground and plant, but want another option, what I'm going to do is tell you a little bit about container gardening. Containers come in a whole range of shapes, sizes and materials. Materials such as earthenware, ceramic, wood, all are perfect in any sort of garden situation like this, or it could be on a patio, a roof terrace, a yard, wherever. Whatever you're going to use, it's very important just to make sure whatever plants you're going to use in them, you've got the right aspect, you've got the right growing conditions. The great thing about containers is you have total choice over what type of soil you use. So if you haven't got that acid soil, but you want to grow that perfect camellia, you can do it with a container. The other great thing about containers is if you get bored with how they're set out, you can physically move them around and change them. You can change the contents. Really, container gardening is all about sort of gardening in miniature, but it gives you that option to be really, really flexible. If you're worried about having to move containers, why not consider having something that's a little bit more fixed, more static? Something like this interlocking container stroke raised bed, simply constructed out of wood and lined with a plastic liner, good drainage holes put in the base, and then a great buffer of grit. In a container this sort of deep, you're roughly talking about a quarter of its depth given over to grits, gravels, crocks, anything that's going to create good drainage. And then filling the rest of the container up with the choice compost that's going to promote the plants that you want to put in here, such as Caryopteris with its scent, or even the geranium that's growing over and cascading down or up through and creating height. This is an area of the garden that will have its key plants, but just like any garden border, the gaps can be plugged by using good old seasonal bedding. Containers needn't be just freestanding on the floor or on a patio. Why not think about something fun like this? This is a great hanging basket to hang a whole myriad of plants in. Simply constructed out of a sort of wicker, rush type material woven around a metal frame with a simple liner inside to contain moisture and the plants themselves. All I would say though about hanging baskets is you spend all that time putting them together, you must make sure the bracket is secure, you must make sure the chains are securely fixed as well. Rather than use traditional terracotta or earthenware pots, you might even want to consider using steel or even aluminium to bring that sort of contemporary feel to a garden. Literally, this is aluminium with a grill back to it and simply filled with grits and very, very freely draining soil. You know, another example of a reclaimed piece of junk, I suppose you might call it, that you could use in the garden.